This is a special report short. Roll the clip.
An abortion into Israel. Yes, he did. It's right there, 1 Kings 11. You can get mad at me. You can scream at me. You can tell me I'm bad. I didn't write the doggone book. I wasn't alive when it was written. All I'm doing is reading what's been written down. So these people pushing all perversion, like this temple, let's just do this right now, right? Israel's supposed to be the Holy Land, right? Supposed to be. I'm not saying it's not either. It would be really nice. Okay, but now let me share something with you. Real fast. What city is known as the most gay-friendly, most pro-gay city in the world?
Tel Aviv.
Okay. Where's Tel Aviv?
Israel. Used to be the old capital.
Okay. My bottom line is, have you ever read Leviticus 18 and 19 and why God allowed the Hebrews to come in and kick the Canaanites out? What it was they were doing that led God to say, destroy all these people. I don't care what happens to them.
Right.
Are you?
Hold on 1 second. Let me. I have to start a new stream. Apparently, YouTube or whatever. The sound has died in the chat room. I'm gonna try to start. I got another program running on the side. I just started it 5 minutes ago, so we have like 5 minutes of this. But I want to try because I got a few people in the chat room and they really want to hear this message and they're rather upset. So I'm gonna start this all over again. I cannot believe YouTube is really messing with the broadcast like this. This is not cool at all. And now it's not even. Oh my God. Let me just kill that whole thing. Start a new one over here. Normally my internet's fine, but I don't know.
Now, you won't believe this, man. I'm digging through my dad's paper.
Right.
As I'm talking to you. And I'm finding an article that I wrote for the Howard University student newspaper for the law school. This must be from 2000. Which year is this? It doesn't give a date. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I'll be able to tell you when this thing was done. This was done December 2000, 19 years ago. And I have an article that I wrote about genocide against blacks in Colombia, South America.
Wow. You want to share it? Share the article with us? We're back on live.
Well, no, I'll just share it with you another time. I'm just thinking that that's incredible. I didn't know my dad had seen this article.
Wow.
See, I'm going through my dad's papers. My dad died 8 years ago, and we didn't always talk about everything. You never do, but isn't that interesting? I've run across all these things that I was writing in my dad's papers, meaning that my dad was reading the stuff that I was writing. He never told me about it. But that's, imagine that's in his collection. So, wow.
All right. Now, you was just talking about what was in Kings, the Book of Kings.
Yeah, Kings, 1 Kings 11, where God tells Solomon that he's going to shut down and divide Israel because he's disgusted at the immorality of Solomon. Solomon had brought all the filth, had brought all the LGBTQ and abortion and all this stuff into Israel and had grieved and broken God's heart. And for the sake of David, his father, he was not going to let Solomon see the kingdom be divided between Israel and Judah. Are you understanding me?
Right. He wanted to keep the kingdom in one piece.
No. He wasn't going to tear it up while he was living. He was going to let it happen to his son.
Oh.
But what people need to understand is that the Israel, if God didn't like Israel doing fornication and all this stuff back then, and that was the basis for the kingdom being divided and Israel being conquered, and so forth. All right? Then why would what's going on in Israel now suit God?
It wouldn't.
And how could it be holy? How could it be the thing that people are saying it is if it's doing stuff that's contrary to the will of God?
It wouldn't. It's totally counter, not just productive, but it's counter spirituality, counter everything that has been known about what God said He wanted for Israel.
So if that's in fact the case, what the hell difference would it be if you did or did not build a third temple, if in fact the people aren't living anything worthy of what God considers holy? Hate me, be mad at me. I ain't mad at nobody, I'm just saying. But if in fact, if God is opposed to certain sorts of conduct,
He's always opposed to that conduct. It kind of never changed.
then how would this be relevant?
Only from a non-believer's point of view, it would just prove that what they're doing is correct. It would prove that because it's happening now, that in their minds, they're doing the right things. Like I was saying, the Orthodox Jew does not believe in Jesus as being divine. In fact, there was a study that says over 60% of so-called Israelis are actually atheists.
Right.
So how do you justify taking land because God said that you're the chosen people, which genetically you're not? And number two, it goes back to the power thing. They have the power to conquer the land. They have the power to have the Golan Heights that we now find is a huge oil reserve. It has
And natural gas.
What's that?
And natural gas.
Yes, and natural gas. So once again, it's not about the divine spirituality of Israel. No. It's about the economical manufacturing possibilities of Israel now. You know, we all know that Israel is the world's leader in cybersecurity. We also know that Israel, whether you want to believe this or not, are working with Chinese companies to develop and basically energize the AI, the facial recognition programs, the cyber web crawling bots and all that. That's what they're doing to make this, I guess, internet prison really secure.
Well, my friend, all I can tell you is that they can do whatever they want if it's true. If people take the Christian scriptures to be true, what's happening in Israel, it can't be pleasing to God. And the words that Jesus told people was, this kingdom was not of this world.
Right.
So all these folks running after this Israel as if there's an earthly kingdom, that's an apostasy. I mean, you can't have it. Either it's God's word or it's not. I'm not bullying anybody here. By the way, that's not what I'm trying to do. But I'm trying to say that if you're going to claim to be for a Christian thing, then it has to follow that. You can't. So what I see now is people running after Judaism, and I don't think that they're really sincere. Really, okay.
No.
And so, and I think that they are, in a nutshell, following something that's not really true.
Well, isn't
And
it
so
in a way they're
can,
falling for their original sin, that they themselves are God, that they themselves are going to create their own savior to save them
well,
from the
I
wicked?
guess they can do whatever they want, I guess, but you have to face judgment for it.
Mm.
So this third temple, they've got the money, they want to build it, they've got this red heifer that has to be sacrificed. These folks have tunnels under this, they have movies in Israel about rebuilding the temple and getting rid of the thing that's there, the Dome of Rock, and all I can say to you is, if folks think that they can put that, make that fit, okay?
Right.
If they really think that they can make whatever they want fit, whatever I want to do, if you're doing whatever you want, you're serving yourself.
Yes.
I mean, I can't tell you that you can't serve yourself if that's what you want to do, but you can't say that that's being biblical. Okay,
Right.
it's not. You're doing something that you want to do. I'm not even saying that you can't do that. You have free will, but don't call it godly. You can't have it both ways, dude.
Mm.
So you have it your way. Remember that song for Burger King?
Yes, you can have it.
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us. Okay. Yeah, they want to do whatever. I mean, I'm not out. It's not. This isn't like the LGBTQ movement where you demand and you order and you boss people, right?
Right.
This is between a person and God. And there has to be a thing in the heart of wanting to be submitted to God and His ways and His laws. If you don't want to do that, you're in open rebellion. That's you. And these people who don't really believe in the Christian tradition anyway, although I mean it facilitates them getting what they want, because we know that these people have no regard for Christianity. They hate Christianity. They see it as awful. That's how it goes.
Well, but that goes back to the whole money and power thing.
Mm-hmm,
They had the power. I mean, when you brought up about the West Wall, the Wailing Wall, all right. Some people argue that that was the foundation. So really, it was the bottom layer of the stones. But when you look at the wall, you see 20, 30 stone layers
on top one another.
Yeah, and then you have the fact that Jesus did not own a castle. He didn't own a fortress. He didn't have, like you said, an earthly empire. His empire is spiritual. And then the third part is that the reason, and I got this from talking with a Jewish person, that they brought up the case that there was no way that Jesus was God, and they even brought the Bible talking about if he was God, why would he talk to himself after he got baptized by John the Baptist when the Holy Spirit descended on him? And then at the end, when he died, he would say to his to the Father, if indeed you are one and the same, why would you have to communicate these things to a different aspect of yourself?
Well, here's what I'm going to say to you. That we can't impose our beliefs
Right.
on other people, but we can be real to ourselves about a couple of things. One, I get that the Jewish folks who don't believe that Jesus Christ was anything. In fact, there's in the Talmud there are references to Jesus cooking. You got your computer?
Yeah, it's right here.
Just put in Talmud, put in search, go into Google, and look Talmud. Tell all the people go there. I mean, don't believe me, and please don't hate me and call me racist because I've been trying to understand this for myself to make sense of what's going on. Jesus in the Talmud, and then I want you to do. I want you to put Jesus Talmud.
Jesus in the Talmud.
And hell. A-N-D and caps and put in hell.
And in hell?
Yeah. H, right. I want you to, and see what you get pulled up. You should get a reference to Jesus cooking in a crock of doo-doo in hell. This is what many Talmudic Jews believe. Jesus is in hell. Mary was
Jesus Christ was illegitimate and was conceived that he was crucified, burnt in hell, and set up as an idol ever since his fall. Oh wow!
I mean, this is what they're saying. Okay, so I'm wondering, why am I fighting for this person to get a temple if you believe that my Savior's in hell and he's illegitimate and that Mary was a whore and all this other kind of stuff? Okay.
Wow. Hold on, let me.
I have to ask someone. Well, if I said that Jesus was cooking an excrement in church, most folks would tell me I was on my way to hell. They would tell me that I was demon possessed. All of this stuff. I mean, they would just. I just know it came up in the top. They'd really do it to me, right?
Right.
Well, why is it that these people can say Jesus went to hell and they're the children of God and they're holy and they're special, and yet, if you even say, well, Jesus is who he said he is, if these people don't like it, then they'll jump on you. Don't make these people mad. You see, this, it's really weird.
No,
this stuff is not, this isn't God, my friend. Or maybe this is God. Let me clarify. It's God. Let's say it's God. I don't know who's God for. It's not God for me. Because literally I have to throw everything in the toilet to make this narrative of what these Talmudic followers, what they say, in order for God's stuff to work, or for their thing to work, you got to throw everything that you believe in the trash. And by the way, it's pretty clear.
Listen to this. Whether those who believe such devilish lies deserve greater hatred or pity, I cannot say. That's one of the little verses. I'm skimming through the Talmud. I'm on Talmud Unmasked, and it is just abominable.
Well, if you're a Christian, it would be very difficult to make that stuff work.
Wow. I mean, almost in a way, this is somewhat similar to true hate speech.
It is hate speech. And if you read it, they'll tell you that it's good to kill Christians. It's throughout that book. It's that series of books. It's pure hatred for people that are Christians. So, hey.
Well, I guess that also makes the prophecy once again true. You know, Christians will be put to death in the end days.
Well, but Christians have always been put to death. Now, let's do this real fast. Remember the former Soviet Union?
Yes.
Okay. If you remember the former Soviet Union, didn't they kill Christians and burn Christians?
I didn't really hear. I mean, I knew that they prosecuted.
They killed millions of Christians in the former Soviet Union. Millions.
Wow.
And did you know that Lenin was Jewish?
Yes. Trotsky, all of them. They
And
were funded by.
Kamenev and Zinoviev and all the others, they're disproportionately Jewish. I'm not picking. I don't. This is not a hatred for anybody.
No, that's actually true. That's documented. All
Okay,
of them.
but if you look at what they did, one of the main things that they did was they destroyed the Russian Orthodox Church. Fact, 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 fact.
Mm.
And killed priests and slaughtered them, murdered their families.
Dang.
Okay, and that was being driven by the Communist Party that was dominated by atheistic, communistic Jews. I'm not saying that as an anti-Semite. I'm only saying that to you that it is what happened. You can get mad at me. You can report me and say I'm teaching hatred. I'm really not. I'm really not. I'm really not trying to do anything other than I began looking, trying to understand what's going on. I really did want to understand what's going on, right?
Right.
So when you start looking at what's going on, you truly want to understand what's going on. Okay. You find yourself, if you're really looking for truth, you go wherever the truth will lead you. Well, if the truth leads you to see that certain people believe and practice things that are almost impossible for you as a Christian, then you understand something.
Mm. This is it's pretty messed up when you think about the ramifications of what you're saying. Basically, you got a group of powerful, rich people who are viewing you in a religious sense as a fool that deserves to be used and abused, and that's pretty sad. And if you say anything to the contrary of that, then you're a bigot, you're a hater, you're an anti-Semite.
Exactly.
That is
Welcome.
where we're at,
Right.
and that's wrong because of the fact that, I mean, once again, science is a good thing when it's applied correctly. And we know the people who are running the show now are not truly Semitic in the biological sense of the word. I mean, they can be converts, and that's all well and good. But once again, I guess it's kind of like, have people truly been duped? Whether it be by the public education system, TV, to believe someone who has very little love for you or even like you or care for you should have that kind of power in the world. I mean, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Netanyahu said Israel is for the Jews only?
Well, they've been saying that for several years. You mean you're just saying that?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I know they've been saying that, but let's just
No,
say
they made
Merkel
that the
said,
law. That's the law of the country. It's been for several years. You're just noticing that it's now a religious, ethnic state.
well, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Because, I mean, any other country was to say that, where would we be at?
Well, what difference does it make when it comes to pleasing the evangelicals and others, you know.
Well, and that's wrong. Listen, we have to come to the point where we deal with government and political constructs differently than we do with our religious constructs or ideology. Because at the end of the day, sometimes, most oftentimes, they do not mix when governing large swaths of people. And that's the problem. Because, just because you say that you are what you are doesn't mean that you're not prone to be corrupted. Maybe not in the beginning, but certainly along your political path, corruptions will come your way. And I'm saying a lot of our so-called leaders, not only are they corrupted, but they have embraced the corruption.
Hmm.
And that goes true with, leaders of foreign countries as well. I mean, I know we got to be kind of careful what we say, but, the facts remain.
Mm. Mm. Well,
Yeah.
what I want to know is that this thing in Israel is going to get it's going to get tougher. It's going to get tougher because these right wing. I don't know if you saw something within the last week or so. The head rabbi for Israel said that it gave permission to the Israeli Defense Forces and others to rape women in warfare.
Wow.
It's okay now. Just rape. Raping is good.
Raping is
I
good.
used to look at that and try to figure out where is this coming from. That's not the Ten Commandments.
No.
But what you realize is that these people, the stuff that they're on is really, really awful. It's really evil. And they believe in some really perverted and awful things. And we're busy looking at it from the perspective of, hey, they're God's chosen people. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to say who is or isn't. I'm not going to go there, but I'm going to just say that I certainly would like to see, for God's chosen people, some godliness.
Well, you know what? Maybe it's a little case G God that they serve.
Well, no, there's only one God, so that can't be God that they're serving.
That is true. That is true.
So at the end of the day, sir, not to bore your audience, because it's more. We were going to talk about Chicago and Baltimore and
Oh my God,
so,
man.
and we had such a difficult time with the technology.
And I'm still having a difficult time. I mean, I'm glad I got this backup running. It would just be audio. So if I have to make a new video, I can actually. But, oh my gosh, I just cannot believe. I don't understand why. Maybe if I was a 19-year-old twerking, all of a sudden I have the best bandwidth, everything be crystal clear. But because I'm trying to talk this good righteous stuff, all of a sudden it's like reconnection issues. People, we can't hear you, it's buffering. I mean, the other crowd was saying the show was literally buffering every minute. So maybe this is the beginning of the net neutrality thing. Maybe unfortunately I've been put on some sort of watch list by an algorithm or something. And I think it's terribly unfair. Well, I'm going to wrap it up because I am getting upset with this computer, with the whole thing, man. I mean, I had to restart the show like 3 times already, and we get through. We get like what 20 minutes into it, and all suddenly I'm because on my side I'm seeing where YouTube's sending me a message. Your internet connection's unstable, and I don't understand how it could be possibly unstable because this is the fastest internet you can get. Period. So I don't know. It has to be some sort of net neutrality issue, some sort of censorship or something. Because I know as soon as the first time, as soon as we were talking about the homosexual agenda, yes, Bird, they are totally hating on me. It seemed like on suddenly we start getting issues with people having to leave the chat room and come back and redo everything. So,
Well, what's going to happen is this. They may well get this Equality Act and other things to pass. That wouldn't surprise me. But you see, a lot of people only understand things when they happen to them. You've got a wife. Do you think your wife would like a man to show his private part to her in the woman's restroom?
no.
How long before all these women buying guns don't start using them on people that make them uncomfortable in the women's restroom?
Well, and they should. Because I'm telling you,
Well,
Homie
I'm
would
just
not
trying
like
to say
my response.
if you think that this isn't coming, if you don't think that there's not going to be a whole lot of insanity, if you don't think that that's coming, you don't understand. I see it coming. I see it coming, and they can do whatever they want. Bully, mess over people. You know, it's going to eventually come out, and there'll be nothing that they can do about it. You understand what I'm saying? This is not the way it's going to go. And so people can do what they want. People can, they can push this stuff for a while, but eventually, my friend, folks there's going to be a pushback to it because everybody can't handle this. In particular, the one group of people that I'm thinking of, named white males. If you think it's safe, if they go off and shoot up schools when they had a bad day, what are they going to do if, say, a black tranny flashes his wiener in front of their mom at the Target? You really think that won't be dealt with? Really?
It will. Oh, it will.
I mean, don't you realize that a lot of stores, how they're going to deal with this is they're going to stop offering bathroom service to people.
Right.
And there's going to be no place for people to use the restroom to accommodate this stuff. It's going to be very interesting. They can have their way for a while, but eventually someone's going to get mad and stop saying, why do I have to have all these legal cases? Because of these people, let's not just have bathrooms at all. The kind of litigation, there's going to end up being a pushback against this in a way that these folks never imagined. It's already happening across the country, but it's not being announced. There are moves and initiatives like this anti-abortion thing that's gone crazy across the country. You see all the people that are now passing all this stuff to stop certain sorts of abortion all over the country, everywhere. When they came and said you could kill the live babies and did all this stuff on television, certain people who would never hear it from someone like me that just swear I've got something wrong with me.
Right.
Now they're seeing it, and they don't have a choice but to oppose it. So there you have it. They've actually destroyed the tolerance that they say they want. They've already long since destroyed it. And now they'll pay the price for it. It's inevitable. All we have to do is sit back cool and collected because something is going to happen. And you know what's going to go down? At some point, there was a white backlash to the civil rights movement. If you think that there won't be a backlash to the excesses of this gay movement, if you really think that people won't get mad about this, then you don't understand the country that you live in. It's a very conservative country.
Yes, it is.
And not only is it very conservative, the people have a way of getting sick of things faster than people ever imagined. Ever. So let them go ahead and do whatever, take whatever you want, bully, yell at, threaten people, tell them you've got to do things my way or else. That's the way they do stuff, but eventually someone's going to get pissed, someone's going to flip out,
right?
And there'll be nothing that anyone can do to stop the anger of people who are mad about this. You see, the Equality Act, what they're not talking to people about is a promise that there will be more sexual violence, more rapes, more abuse. You're going to have more victims. You're going to have more people angry. And so it's not a sustainable situation. And by the way, I repeat, I volunteered when people were dying from AIDS. Children dying. I didn't say, oh, you're dirty, you don't deserve that. What happens when you destroy the compassion that people had? What? What happens when people just don't care? Well, you don't care, I don't care. There's no way to predict how that's going to go when people feel like they have nothing to gain and nothing to lose from this. And this is what the LGBTQ sex bullies don't get, is that people will get angry and eventually they'll fight back. And what we don't know is how will people fight back, although I suspect that you will see people do physical harm to other people.
Yes.
By the way, like I said, I don't want anybody beating or hitting on anyone else. At the same time, I don't think that my mom should have to see a man's private part when she goes to women's restroom.
Or my daughter.
I don't think it's fair. Now, if someone considers me some kind of monster, a sociopath, over this, then they're going to just have to have that perspective, right? But this is, people are going to get what they want. They may not think so, but they're going to get what they want. They're going to wake up one day and they're going to be folks who just don't care and will do whatever they feel like doing to get back at those that they do not like. And this will have been brought into play by the very people who claim that they had been persecuted and they had been victims. And some of this victimization, some of this stuff is true. A lot of it's true. Don't get me wrong. Do I think folks bother and mess with people? Yes, they do. Do people need their rights respected? Yes, they do. Do I think it's cool back in the day that the police used to go and beat up and traumatize the people in the gay spot? No, I don't. I don't. I wouldn't. To me, let people have their space as long as you get income from. But don't punish us. Don't tyrannize us with your issues, your conduct.
Right.
Right.
Your behavior. Because
yes.
what we've been talking about today, it's not like they were born this way. It wasn't like it's a personal choice. I don't care what anybody says. It's a personal choice. It's not like what you're born.
Well,
your skin color.
Even if it wasn't a personal choice, your orientation, it is a personal choice who you get in bed with.
Right.
If it's not a choice, it's rape. So everyone has to decide who they're going to get in bed with. It's not. It's not involuntary. It's not like some who ambulate into bed with someone you don't know. So no, you were not born that way.
This is. I don't even know if the chat room can hear us right now. I don't really care because I got this on a separate recording, and I'm going to upload this recording.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, they're going to make this up. Oh, he hates gay people. One word has been, you hate anybody in here. Notice that. But trust me, the way it will be read is that folks hate people, don't respect people, don't want people to have their jobs. That's never been the conversation that we've had here.
Right.
But trust me, it's going to be heard just as much that you're calling for violence and pain and abuse. No one, not even talking like that.
Right.
I don't like that. Like I was saying 40 years ago, saying you can't do this to people and everybody has to be treated fairly, whether you agree with them or not. But that doesn't really count to the ideological people.
No.
It doesn't really count. It's sort of like it's like to the white supremacists. Doesn't really matter if you love people and respect others and you don't hate white folks and want to give them. You're still a nigger and you're subhuman.
Right.
And that's sort of the way they're looking at people who don't support this LGBTQ thing. It does not matter whether a decent person or how kind or loving. None of that means anything. You aren't with what they say 100%. You're just the enemy.
I have a question from viewer. This is from Sister Hunt. Please ask him about the Coonbusting program.
Okay, Coonbusting. Well, tell him I need your help. I need your help, and it's hard to do things like this with very few resources, but what we did do is we have begun to get folks to call, in particular, and address the members of the Congressional Black Caucus about supporting the Gay Equality Act. And what I'm asking everyone to do, it's easy to be a coon buster. If you've got a telephone, you could be a coon buster. The most dangerous thing that's going on in the country is this Gay Equality Act that will give the same black folks in Congress who are reluctantly willing to talk about discussing reparations for black people, having the net effect signed on and co-sponsored a reparations bill for gays and for trans and for pedophiles. If you read, in fact, tell that person my email. I'll send them a copy of the law. I'm wrandyshort@gmail.com. I'll do it again. WRANDYSHORT@gmail. You sit down and you read that law. They're going to get access to credit, housing, education just on the basis of not being heterosexual. That's reparations. That's reparations. The Gay Equality Act is a reparations bill for homosexuals, for pedophiles, for trannies, for all of that, for bestialities. It is a reparations bill that 100% of the black Democrats in Congress who will not do this for black people, even a discussion, support this for gays and lesbians and others. Now, mind you, if we did reparations for us, maybe I wouldn't mind other people getting. But you mean you'll put others ahead of us?
Yes.
Which is what they've done. It used to be that there was one black Democrat in Congress, Marcia Fudge, who many people allege has had the same female lover for about 20, 30 years. Now she supports it. Every single black in Congress, with the exception of the two Republicans, support this Equality Act. What am I asking people to do as coon busters? In Washington, I live here, I can tell you the one thing that the people hate in the congressional offices that makes the public's voice be heard is to ring the telephones of these people. Every time I do a program, we need to do this again, brother.
Yes.
The Capitol Hill operator's number is 202 225 3121. 202 225 3121. Who do I want you to call? You can call Hakeem Jeffries, who's head of the Democratic caucus in Congress. He's on the Judiciary Committee. He's the rising star. He's a Muslim. He's a nephew of Leonard Jeffries, and he's more pro-gay than a dildo. I don't know his number off the top of my head, but I can tell you some people's numbers I do know. You can call Maxine Waters, who supports this bill. Maxine Waters' number is 202-225-2201. 202-225-2201. You can call the little silly black woman from Alabama, Terry Sewell, who went to Harvard with Obama and I. Her number is 202-225-2665, I believe. Or 61. I think it's 65. 2265. You can call John Lewis. John Lewis is 202-225-3801. I know these numbers by heart. You can call. But if you get the Capitol Hill operator, well, this is what we need. We need thousands of black people to say that Dr. King's dream wasn't to be gay.
Right.
And having a piece of the pie is not pedophilia. We want reparations, not pedophilia. So all I can do is ask. So that person in the chat room needs to understand, when I try to go onto Facebook and do my live, oftentimes the thing shuts down over and over and over again. When I do stuff over Facebook, it's blocked. If I do stuff over Twitter, I'm back into Twitter, but I'm pretending to be like a gay racist, so I don't get put off. I can't tell you what my name is.
Gotcha.
So I masquerade as a white gay man. I can say whatever I want. So that's okay. Well, but what I'm asking folks to do, there's also a website called Gone Too Far, GONE, the number 2, FAR.org. There's a petition. We're trying to get 100,000 signatures. I'm working with some white folk. I mean, gotta do what I can because it's hard finding black folks. But Coonbusters are working. I have a new Coonbuster with me. I have an office space that I can use for Coonbusters. We're going to have a summer program through the city. I can't tell you exactly what. It won't be called Coonbusters, but we're going to be teaching young folks about politics, leadership,
yes.
And hopefully we can turn a couple of them out where they'll be friends to us after the 6-week program, and that will be us building our posse to fight this. I have some ministers that I'm working with. In particular, there is a phenomenal black Mississippian by the name of Willie Joe Coleman Jr., who's helping me. We're about to blow up the state of Mississippi behind the Equality Act. If y'all in Missouri, y'all need to go after Lacey Clay. He supports the Gay Equality Act. Lacey Clay does. He believes in militarizing the police to kill you blacks. He believes in all this bad stuff for you, but he's going to go out the way to protect gays from police brutality. The Gay Equality Act cites that the police mistreat gays. I didn't know that. I thought they asked them for dates. So Lacey Clay believes that gays need to be protected from police brutality, but believes in militarizing the police with tanks, machine guns, grenades, armored personnel carriers. All of that for you, but reparations, love, and understanding for rich white gays. Huh? This is what the blacks in Congress do. This is what they're doing. So Coonbusters, other people need to, you got a cell phone, you can fight. Not only that, if you've got email, you can share. You can tell anybody that you want to about the Equality Act. Educate people. And blame the entire black Democratic leadership in this country, including the NAACP, Leadership Council for Civil and Human Rights, the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund, the Urban League, NAN, every single solitary one of them support the Gay Equality Act. There's a lot of bus, and there's so many people to go after and tell, just find something and attack it. But in particular in Congress, call them, get the number, call John Lewis's punk ass, call Clyburn, that little the Uncle Ben's looking, bald-headed Uncle Ben's looking Negro from South Carolina that doesn't think we deserve reparations. If you began to call them, I know what it's like because I've worked on Capitol Hill at times in my life, and I've had to answer the phones. When you stress out the staff, it gets to the congressman and they come in and everybody's tensed up that they've been getting beat down all day long by the hate from the public. I'm asking black folks to start hating coons. I didn't say kill nobody. I didn't say shoot nobody, but you can cuss someone out. You can call them out. You can denounce them. I was on the phone for 15 minutes with one of the Congress people. That dude was just dying being on the phone with me. I was very polite. I didn't insult anyone, but it was stressing him out to hear my point of view because he couldn't beat me. If enough of us called in fact, you should devote a show or two. If we just went after the Gay Equality Act for a couple of days, because they're going to pass it. They introduced this bill on the 13th of March. Today is what? The 11th of April?
Right.
Okay. Do you realize when they introduced that on the 13th of March, the following week they introduced it, I think last week, to all the committees at one time in the House and the Senate. It is zooming through the Congress.
Wow.
And by the way, I need to make this clear to you. You only need 218 votes for something to get out of the House and to the Senate. You know the process is it goes through the House, it gets approved there, then it moves to the Senate.
Right.
And if it approves the Senate, then it goes to the President's desk. If he vetoes it, they can overturn it by getting most of the votes in the Senate against the President. Now, check this out. They only needed 218 votes to get the House. Well, understand something. The Gay Equality Act has 241 co-sponsors and one sponsor. 242 people are already going to vote for it before it hits the floor. It's done. They've got 46 votes in the Senate. Maybe 47. 46 or 47. They only need 13 or 12 or 13 votes. They've got 5 Republicans already. I know they do. They had a little 2 confused women Republicans. They got Flake who can't stand. Well, I don't know if Flake is still in. They've got Romney. Romney is the biggest homosexual of all times. That's 3. And there's some other ones. Now look, if they've got the 5 that I'm talking about, that means if you add 5 to their 46, that's 51. If this vote only requires 51 for them to have a simple majority, then it's on the President's desk. If it requires that they get 60, that means they need to get 9 more. But you know what? The companies, there are 120 of the biggest corporations in America, including the banks, that generate $3.8 trillion in business every year, want this Gay Equality Act.
Wow.
Don't you think if they gave $600,000 to Mitch McConnell, he's the one with the turkey neck that looks like Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies? He's he's the Senate Majority Leader. If he says yes to having a vote on the Gay Equality Act, because they've given him these same corporations that want us to screw little kids, and they think that there are like 218 different gender expressions and genders, which means that you and I could be different sexes, although we're both male.
Crazy.
Oh, no, this is what they want. Now check this out. The Bible says in Romans 18, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, right? Romans 1. And they went them over to the vanity, whatever, craziness. So I could be a transracial trans woman right now. If they had it, I could say I was a white woman. I'm Scarlett O'Hara, and I want to run for Miss America because I'm a true Southern Belle, right? If they get it set up, they wouldn't be able to tell me no. They'd have to hope for me to be disqualified. You ever run in your, this is the kind of stuff that we're going to get. Don't say that this can't happen. No, nigga, no, I'm telling y'all, people need to look up Weimar Germany. Most people don't realize before Hitler came along, and Hitler was bisexual. Yes, he was. Hitler was a queen. That Berlin, Germany, the other home of Nazism. Berlin was the gay capital of America. Homosexuality as a term was coined in Berlin. Okay, now there's a very good book. It's called Gay Berlin. It's very easy to remember the title, Gay Berlin. Get yourself a copy. Or get a book called Pink Swastika.
Yeah,
Pink Swastika. Well, I'm friends with the gentleman. If you ever want, he'll do your show.
Yes, I really like it.
Oh no. We can really go here, and this isn't based on hating anybody. Okay, this isn't about attacking someone who's walking down the street switching. I never did that. If I saw someone switching, I feel sorry for him. In fact, I feel like this. If a man is attracted to men, he doesn't need you to wear a dress. He only needs you to be a man. So when you're doing all that dumb stuff as a queen, that's on you. If she's interested in women, she doesn't have to put on a man's suit. Right? If you're true, you would want them to look like a man or a woman.
Right.
You don't need them to imitate the other sex. So, right away, I just did that. Now, let me move on. Back to this, that Berlin was where people went from all over the world for the huge tranny and transsexual and drag queen bars and parties, and there's an epidemic of VD. Hitler and them cleaned that stuff up. Hitler and them cleaned it up. Hitler and them says we can't have, even though they had, Hitler killed all of his gay associates. Yes, he did.
Yeah,
there would have been
daggers.
Long knives. There would be no Nazi party without a gay movement in Germany. And when they burnt up all the books, they did not burn books. It's a lie that they were burning all the classic books. They were having their gay dossiers destroyed. So Hitler and his guys, so the folks that knew what kind of freaks they were, because Hermann Goering, the number 2 man in Nazi Germany, was bisexual and was into transvesticism. That's real talk. That's real.
But wasn't he the commander of the Luftwaffe?
Yes, the head. Yes, he used to dress up in drag and wear makeup and prove she's gay. He's bisexual.
Oh my God.
Rudolf Hess was bisexual. Hitler's one too. They say his niece committed suicide. If you ever read the comments, he said you wouldn't believe the stuff he asked me to do. Now I'm trying to think. If you like healthy sex, then that's not what he wasn't asking you to do. That was he asking? Was he asking to let her, mess with this or that? Okay, you have to sit down. You have to really sit down and think about why we don't know much about this stuff. But that book, The Pink Swastika, people need to get their hands on that. People need to understand something. That the gay people tried to appropriate the Jewish people's suffering to advance their movement. That's why they had that whole pink triangle thing. You don't hear about it anymore because the Jews did not allow, they would not stand for the gay folks appropriating the Jewish identity to advance their cause, even though plenty of the gay activists are Jews themselves.
Wow.
In fact, the Jewish community said no. So they decided to pick on our people. And we're weak, we're perverted, we're degenerate, we're hypocritical, we're fake. I'm talking about our religious leadership, our political leadership. We're cheaply bought, And that's why this is happening to us. And the minute that, let me tell you, if you go and you look for folks attacking the Gay Equality Act, nobody of significant note in our community has spoken up across this country, black. You might find the only face that's denounced the Gay Equality Act is me. And I don't have no money. I don't have no big organization. Where are all these other people? Where are these pastors, these bishops? They got millions.
Well, we know many of those pastors are gay.
And the women are butchers. I mean, all of them. In fact, the Greek letter people. Did you see the article up on Facebook? You need to go to my Facebook wall. These women got busted somewhere for sex trafficking.
Yes, the sexual ring. The sorority.
Yeah, but the guys do it too. I've seen that. It's old. It's real talk. This has been going on a long, long time. That's why I would call the Greek letter organizations organized sex instead of organized crime. Now, I want to say this to you: the gay movement. Wherever you have a strong gay movement, you have a strong racist police state type effort as well.
Yes.
And so all of the Nazis all over Europe, all over everywhere, there are always a huge number of gay people in movements that are repressive and killing. That's a fact. I even think that man that shot up that mosque, if you notice, they say he's 28. Now, you don't believe that, as old as that dude looks.
Yeah, he looked like he was in his 40s.
50s. Come on, white folks age faster. So he didn't have any children, no girlfriend. How many times have you seen that where somebody is out, whether it's a school shooter or somebody else?
Yeah, they always seem to be lonely, and they be blaming black men for taking their women. But in reality, you're suggesting that they're homosexuals, and they're venting out their anger and deviant for the racist cause.
Yes. If you really get into the Nazi movement, it's always a celebration of the sexuality of the Aryan male.
Right.
If you've ever seen that movie, that documentary, The Triumph of the Will by Lenny Riefenstahl, you have the white guys running around with the little wee-wees showing and running around naked, and they're throwing spears and cock flashing. This is a celebration of how delicious, how sensual, how powerful, how martial the Aryan male is. Huh?
I mean, it makes sense. Think about it. If you want to, you believe that you're the superior race and you want to make love to the best thing, it would probably be somebody that looks just like you.
Well, you have to remember, the founder of the American Nazi Party was gay. He was killed over a gay love quarrel. This is fact. He got killed in my neighborhood. I was a little boy, a little baby when it happened. I remember. Oh, this is real talk.
Wow.
There's a strong homo vibe in all this this extreme hatred. Timothy McVeigh, where's his woman at? Where are his children at? You show me one of them people and they almost never have children. They almost never have a woman.
That is true, when you really think about it. Even Dylan Roof, but he was young, I guess. But
Dylan Roof was gay. You didn't see him with the gay black boyfriend?
Oh,
and they made it disappear. No, I pay attention. There's a strongly effeminate black boy.
Right.
Who was his best friend and said how nice he was, and he wouldn't hurt anybody. The greatest defense for Dylan Ross came from an effeminate black male. Now, what do you think about that?
Oh, he was probably getting rammed.
And by the way, the black gays are the biggest defenders of white supremacy in this country. Understand that about all the black gays. Y'all have sold us out because they have a white lover. Don Lemon, for that matter, Barack Obama. Give them a white lover, and all of a sudden they don't care nothing about us. Black Lives Matter. I mean, that's some gay stuff too. Look, I'm just saying this to you that Dylan Ross, not just him, Who else has gone out? And all of these people, they're always weird.
Right.
What's his name? Zimmerman had no woman.
Well, he had an ex-wife or something, but yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
have no
but
woman.
he had
I don't think.
he sexually abused a little girl that they all kept quiet for him because he's Jewish. You keep getting this thing over and over and over again because our people won't put the pieces together. You don't see the National Newspaper Publishers Association talking about the Gay Equality Act. Nobody. By the way, you heard that Ebony Jet just filed bankruptcy within the last day or two. It was on CNN. So, black folk are really in a strange time.
Right. All of our news outlets or little publications are going by the wayside for various reasons. A lot of people getting their information off the internet. But
Well,
also,
no, it's because they're not saying nothing anybody wants to read.
right.
The black newspapers have, they've gotten so moist they could be a river. I've written for black newspapers, okay? I used to write for the Afro-American. And I'd write a piece and, you can't say this. Well, we need the advertisers. There was the president of Mexico made a statement that black people were lazy and inferior. Vicente Fox. I wrote an editorial denouncing Vicente Fox. I made no statements about Mexican people, but I talked about the condition of poverty in Mexico. You know what that little punk-ass editor who was Greek, Omega Psi Phi?
What do you do?
He decided to write an article about cornrows. Hair.
What?
And this is what, I'm going to say this again, the effeminate, the gay, the traitor black people, they always push superficiality, sex, stars, garbage. They never talk about hunger, housing, families, education. They're traitors. What interests them, what titillates them is not what you need as an ordinary person. So you're going to push sports. And I know a lot of black folks are just shallow and stupid anyway. I'm going to say that in defense of the gay folks. Black folks tend to like dumb stuff. Yes, I'm generalizing because it's true. Really hardcore reality, black folks aren't interested in it. But those that do read, that are interested, do you find what you want? Interviewer? No. You got to struggle to find anything deep when you're a black person. I want to find out who has the biggest butt, who's got vagina lips down to their knees. I can find that. But if I want to know something substantive, not typically. And a part of this is driven by the Greek letter and the Masonic people. They don't want moral or ethical people, the debauched, the degenerate people, black.
Right.
Get all the reach, all the attention, all the help. Sure they do. Sure I'm right.
That is right on. That is right on. But it's going on 3 o'clock in the morning here.
Yes, sir. And it's going on 4 here. We got to do this again. But we need to talk about Chicago. Hey,
Yes.
hang in there for a minute. We got to do Chicago real fast. Chicago and Baltimore. Let me run through this real fast. In Baltimore, they have this, we believe, bisexual black female mayor. There seems to be a lot of these gay black women, or they look gay, or they act gay, or whatever. Her name is Pugh. P-U-G-H. They should name her Stink. She is crooked. She's done nothing for black folks. She's a total to white people, and they've used her, and now they want to throw her away. But she was on the board of regents for the University of Maryland, hooked up some kind of publication deal where she got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to make a book that's not even available to the young black people in Baltimore called Healthy Holly. And everybody realizes that she's a crook. She is a disgrace. And folks are asking for her to step down. And she's presided over the corruption of the police department. They have police who literally shoot people and plant guns on them. And of course, is she going to do anything about it? No. So she may get kicked out. In Chicago, you had the fight Rock'em Sock'em lesbians. You had what one I call Dick Winkle or Prick Tinkle, whose name is actually Tony Preckwinkle, who was a black woman who's light skinned, who's a butch, who was married to a Jewish dude. She dumped him and allegedly has a secret relationship with a woman on the side. And she's run up against Lori Lightfoot, I call her Dykefoot, who she's a lazy-eyed lesbian that looks like the actress Olivia Spencer. In particular, she looks like Olivia Spencer, the maid in The Help, where she made the pie with the dude in it for the white woman to eat. Remember that? Did you see that movie? Are you hearing me? Hello? I just heard some noise. Did you hear me?
No,
No, I...
kids were up, but it's fine.
Okay. I don't know. Were you hearing what I was sharing with you about Lori Lightfoot?
Yes, a bisexual female from Baltimore.
No. That's Pew.
Who is?
Okay, you didn't hear what I said. I see the audio went out for a moment. Or did it? Did you hear me? Or
No,
did
I didn't hear that.
Okay, so we did Lori Lightfoot. No, we did Pew. They want her out.
Right.
Now in Chicago, you had the battle of the Rock'em Sock'em lesbians. Okay, you had Tony Preckwinkle, and I call her Prick Tinkle or Dick Tinkle. She is a lesbian who was married to a Jewish dude who has a woman on the side, so people in Chicago say. She looks like an 80-year-old version of Archie from the comics, except the hair is white instead of red. She's up against, and she's a crooked head of the Cook County Democrats. She's ignored black people and done everything she could to serve the interests of white folks. So black folks weren't enthused about her. Then you had this woman, a lazy-eyed lesbian by the name of Lori Lightfoot. I call her Lori Dykefoot. She looks like the actress Olivia Spencer from the movie The Help, the one with the pie with the doo-doo in it. Mm-hmm. That the white woman ate. She looks just like her. And by the way, black folks are going to have to eat that pie now. And it's got more than one person's doo-doo in it. It's got Rahm Emanuel and Obama. And the whole Democratic Party machine in Chicago, the Daily Machine. And black folks are going to be set back 30, 40 years by voting for her. Jesse Jackass and this little ignorant nigger preacher by the name of Willie Wilson, who's head of the Baptist Institute of Chicago. They helped get the churches to support this lesbian named Lori. And I think you saw the picture of Lori, who had the big, nasty, wet kiss with her white female husband. You didn't see that. If not, you need to write me once or twice a week or get to the habit so I can share stuff with you as I see it. But in a nutshell, those two ran, and the first round, maybe about a month or so ago, Lightfoot came in first. She had about maybe 20,000 votes more than Preckwinkle, 15,000 votes more than that. But the top 4 or 5 candidates that ran in the first round had fewer votes than Harold Washington did in 1983 in the primary. All right? Just to let you know that. Then they just had their election, I think, on the 2nd of April. And those 2 candidates for mayor had fewer votes than Harold Washington got in 1983 in the primary. Meaning that there was a super low, record low number of black voters in Chicago. Neither one wanted to vote for either lesbian. So the white folks and some of the other people came out and voted. And Lori, who, like I said, she looks like, she's a lazy-eyed lesbian, who's a prosecutor who's been locking up black men and covering up for police corruption and things like black children being burned alive in apartments and nothing being said about it. This is who the mayor is now. again, the LGBTQ have brought us this radical. By the way, and her white female husband is a Jewish woman. And you heard Don Lemon just announce that he's going to engage his white Jewish boyfriend. And just telling you what's going on. And this is what's happening across the country to our people.
You know, what, you said that Don Lemon is dating a Jewish guy as well?
Of course.
I'm just seeing a trend there. That's all I'm saying.
Of course there's a trend there. That's why I'm bringing it up for you.
Okay.
I want you to understand that a large number of these interracial marriages are on a high level. These folks tend to be blacks and Jews. Oh, let's do another one. The mayor of New York, de Blasio, is a Jew with an Italian name with a black bisexual wife. This isn't. I mean, I'm just looking. You know, it is what it is. I'm not trying to. And I'm looking at Kamala Harris. She's married to a Jewish man. If you start looking, you're going to start. You know, black people are taught to only look at colors, not to ask deep questions. If you did, you could put the pieces together very quickly. And this is why the stuff goes on. And I would suspect that that many other people that you see out here married to folks, oftentimes that other person is not. Think about it. On a certain level, some Jews don't care if you marry them. Yeah. But certain white folks, under no circumstances would they tolerate a black person in the family, even if they like them.
Right, because they hold true to that,
true to that white supremacy. Right. Jews believe in Jewish supremacy, but you can be, sometimes you don't have to be white to be accepted.
So it's all about the, searching for acceptance. These people who take you in type deal.
Not necessarily searching for acceptance, but the thing is that they do what they want. It's also not. It's being non-conformist. Understand something. If I believe Jesus went to hell and that all this Christian stuff is BS, and that these people have some idea that blacks are the curse to him and they don't like them, by redundancy, I'm going to be laid up with them. I'm going to not conform. Jewish folks have a history of not going along with the values and beliefs of Catholics and Protestants. Why should they? I'm not a Catholic. I'm not a Protestant.
That's true.
Now you see why the black music and black art that white people have hated, Jewish folks have bought into, controlled, exploited, participated in. From Al Jolson to
Easy
to Rick Rubin. There's been a long history of enjoying that kind of stuff. So the gangster rap, you name it. Who's put that out? Who had the first interracial look? Okay, who had the first love movie, black-white love movie? I mean, Chimango. With the person passing for the white named Clark Gable, with Dorothy Dandridge.
Man.
You know Clark Gable's not white.
I didn't really. I mean, it was a little bit before.
Clark Gable's not white. Clark Gable's not white.
What was he?
Ava Gardner's not white. Lonnie Anderson, that bitch ain't white.
I mean, what are they then? Like,
they black.
Did not know that.
Tom Hanks is a mulatto. Whether he wants to admit it or not, a whole bunch of them. There are 50, 60 million of these people walking around here who know goodness well that this white thing is a lie.
But it benefits them, though.
It well, if they could say they were black payoff, they do it too. We do the same thing. I'm biracial. I'm Catholic. I'm a Mason. I'm Eastern. So whatever it is to deflect our blackness. If we do it, why shouldn't they do it too when they look more like it? In fact, more people believe them. Think about how ridiculous it is, and I'm thinking about the census that was taken 99 years ago, or 100 years ago, when my grandfather tried to tell people he was at least black, mixed, and the people decided he's Spanish. And that was the end of that. I'm white, I said so, you're what I say you are. You are who you are, not who we say you are. I mean, sometimes say, hell, just take the damn benefit. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say anyway.
Man.
Tom Hanks is not, he doesn't even look white.
Well,
hold on, let me break this down because you don't get it. What is Bill Cosby's wife's maiden name?
I'm not for sure.
Hanks.
So she's somehow related to Tom Hanks?
Say that again? Maybe. It's a strong possibility. Yeah, Camille Cosby is a Hanks. And Camille Cosby is my cousin. A Hanks is my cousin. That means that Hanks is my cousin too.
Let me pull up a picture of this Tom Hanks guy real quick.
It's the hair. His hair is not flat.
I'm trying to see if there's a picture of him. I look at people's eyes. I can see a lot. Oh my God! I just know his nose. Look at this picture of Tom Hanks' nose, people. If you can hear me, I don't think they can hear me, but oh my God!
No, it's not just. Get a picture of Lonnie Anderson before they told her to dye her hair blonde. Her hair is naturally jet black.
Hold on.
She's got a full nose, full lips.
Lonnie Anderson.
Put in Lonnie Anderson, put in a Google image, Lonnie Anderson, black hair. Ask for them to show you a picture of her without the blonde hair, as if black folks can't have blonde hair. Just ask.
Okay, there's just like a black and white picture. I don't even know why that is still up there. A black and white picture of her with, yeah, she looks kind of black in that picture.
Yeah, they whitened her up.
Hold on. I want to do another. Lonnie. And then I'm looking at her nose. She does have a. It's not a little pointy nose, is it?
Look at the lips. Look at the cheekbones.
Yeah, she has a lot of cheekbones. I wish I could see a body shot of her to see if her legs were kind of longer than her torso. Maybe that's why it didn't work out with Burt Reynolds. Maybe he found out something.
Burt Reynolds was married, I thought.
Well, they dated, him and her.
There's another one, Carol Channing.
It's crazy.
You know Carol Channing?
I mean, I've probably seen her in a movie or something. I just don't know that name.
Carol Channing is black.
I just remember
Wait until the
back in the day, Lonnie Anderson was pretty, considered pretty good looking. Back in the day of the, those little sitcoms. What she play on, KO
R
Cincinnati?
WKRP.
Yeah, the little radio station deal. All right, well, damn, I did not even know that. But that thing with Tom Hanks, that really messed me up. Looking at his face, it just like hit me as soon as I saw it. But okay. Well, we're going to shut her down. It is 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock there. And I got to get these kids to school in the morning. But, in 3 hours, rather. But no, we will definitely continue this conversation. I'm going to give you a call tomorrow morning. Off the record, though.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you then, Doctor.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching the video. This is True Power is Mine. As always, live your life with integrity, without hate, without envy, and or greed. Peace.